يعني الشغل بأوروبا
كتير منيح.
شغل مع فنان تعرفت عليه هون، هو فيه يزبط لي الفيزا وكل شيء، بس يعني أنا لسه ما
قل له ايه تعال.
تعا.
With my latest work, I am exploring a new realm.
Beller keser demedim mi dinni. Beller keser demedim mi dinni.
You know, and I love what you were telling me what you did, this man who sold the skin, because it was so unusual and it was so breathtaking what you did in the film, you know. When they come to they first come to the art opening, you know, where they meet Monica Bellucci and whatever. Now, outside, did you supplement lights outside? Because it felt so naturalistic when they're walking to it. Did you put lights on the building to feel?
Yeah, we were. It was all for each position. I installed a light, and I worked a lot again with reflectors. I don't know if you've seen Capharnaum. I had used
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that. Now I will.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
It's
So you,
completely different.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure. But the reflect. What do you mean? What kind of reflectors?
So I had small mirrors, and the ones that Christian Berger, the light bridge reflectors, and I love them because I would use a source in the space and just change the direction to where I need it to be, so I don't need to put lights everywhere.
Now, my only question with those is, if you're outdoors in the wind, what do you do? You know, because then the mirrors move and it moves your light. What do? You have to secure them down so well. Do you ever have a problem with that?
I mean, and so far it worked pretty well because I would just take a smaller one, and the magnets are pretty steady, so I managed to. So I haven't been in strong winds, but I've been in places where there was wind, and it was okay. It didn't move.
And you said you shot it with the Sony. What did you shoot it with?
Yeah, we shot it on the Sony Venice at 4K, Super 35.
How did you go with the Venice over the Alexa?
Because I had the system they have where you can detach the body was important to get into the spaces. Like on the recce, we had mirrors that were there and places where the camera needed to be very small to get that close to what we need, like physically, to get to the places where we could get reflections. And that was one of the main reasons. And I had shot before on the Sony Venice, and I liked it. Like, I don't know, there's something that I liked about it. But right now I'm shooting again on the Alexa because I felt in the two movies I shot that it was overly sharp. So I went back to Alexa now to see if I will lose that feeling of sharpness.
You know, there was another idea that it was so weird and so interesting when he's hiding in the truck and he has. Where did that idea come from? That's so weird. I loved it.
She's a funny director. I know she's full of ideas that I love just listening to her because she has in each scene like 10 jokes or 10 things that a lot of ideas that you don't even see in the movie now. But for example, she wanted the whole film to be a split screen. And that's like, you see that.
She wanted the whole film to be a split screen.
No, she wanted the whole film to be like boxes in boxes.
Uh-huh.
And that's why in the train, you have the shot where there's the door in the middle. And
Right.
so there are bits of that stayed in the movie, but it didn't work out for the whole movie.
Yeah, like a frame within a frame, which is great because there's a scene, I don't remember, where they're in one room in the doorway and he's there and well, is that a mirror? Because you played with mirrors so much, you started to think, that's a mirror. And then he walks up to the doorway and it wasn't the mirror.
Yeah.
Playing with the illusion all the time, which was wonderful. And that was, he had the question about that, was that scripted, that you use the same space for the dialogue with the telephone, you know, where they use a split screen, but they're in the same space.
Yeah.
I was curious if those ideas existed on the script prior to how it was executed, like that specific scene where they're on their phone and there's kind of a natural split screen you did. Like how many of those ideas were kind of preconceived?
They were in the script as split screens, but not as split screens in the mirrors. And then while talking and looking at the locations, we just thought that it would be super interesting to have a split screen, but where the person moves into a different, like to play with that. And the only way of doing it would be to do it physically.
I see.
So we found mirrors that were like an accordion. You could put them, and if the camera shoots here and moves to here and here, then you have different, like you can play with the spaces, and we would just play with the mirrors so that they get us back, so that if the camera pans, it gets us again to him.
عبير علي صوتك شوي ماني سمعاني.
أنا بس كان بدي أتشكرك على عملته منشان زياد. مش الحال، اتفقوا.
Wow. And what, you know, like even in the gap where being sold, what was your wide lens? Because you always get the distortion with the lens. How wide was that lens? What lens was that?
It was a 28 millimeter, but anamorphic, so it's like a 14.
Yeah. And he's on his face, right? Something like when he's looking down, where the white guy in the white suit is saying, you know, and then you go up above and you look down.
Yeah.
Was that the same 14 or the 28?
28? Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And together with the diopter, it made the lens look even a bit weirder.
So you could get closer with a diopter.
You could get closer, but it also changed. Like it made, I don't know. I like the effect that it gave to the image also.
Because what did you use the diopter for? For proximity to get close?
Yeah. Because the minimum focus is 3 feet.
I see.
That's why. Yeah.
You know, I know it was low budget, but how did you rent the train car? Like how did you get that train car with all those are all extras? Or you didn't steal that in a real train car?
I mean, we shot it in Tunisia, so it's pretty cheap to do deals with people and get extras.
Yeah.
And the funniest scene we had was we shot the museum in Belgium, and then we had to shoot the continuity where the beams are on the mirrors, the big space, and we had to shoot this in Tunisia. And then we got there, and we were almost ready to shoot, and the extras came, and they have to be like from Europe, and the people that are white, and then everyone was just like really very dark skinned, all of them. So here, for example, the director had that amazing idea of saying those kids are from a different background, that from an immigration background, and she changed the whole scene so it could work with what we have.
Alors, qui peut me dire ce que représente ce tatouage? C'est un visa Schengen. Un visa Schengen, c'est un papier très important, très compliqué à avoir, dont ont besoin les personnes étrangères pour venir en Europe légalement. Légalement, ça veut dire qu'ils ont la permission.
Madame, est-ce que tous les gens qui viennent de loin font ce tatouage?
And I think, I worked with Monica Bellucci 30 years ago when she first came to America to shoot commercials. She didn't speak any English, Italian, and a little French. And the weird thing is, I ran into her on a train from Paris to Belgium.
Ah, so maybe it's our film that she was coming
That's
to.
what's crazy.
Ah,
It
okay.
real. Like, I thought she was wonderful.
Yeah.
I never felt like I called the Barbara Streisand problem. She looks like a different movie than everybody else because she tells the cameraman how she wants to be lit. She wants to light right over the camera, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah. Yeah.
They can't be below the eye line. She knows enough to tell you exactly the way she wants the camera to be on it,
Oh, that's crazy.
And then the decision too, I like, where you're always keeping the focus on the character that you're following, not the focus where you would see where they were looking at, that you made that decision with the director early on, or you showed her that as an idea of being in the head of the character.
Yeah, I like, we wanted the body to feel like it's a movie to us also about being in a body, and what does it, like, what's your relationship to the body. I just felt that, like, together we just wanted this to be the focus,
Right.
more than dealing with the environment or showing things that are
It's also interesting how you play with focus all through the film. When they're walking to the cell. Now, where was that location? Did you build that, or where was that whole? Where was that?
No, this was in Marseille. I didn't like the location. I had problems. I thought, like, I'm not so happy with the prison because it was not. I didn't like I don't know why. Like the colors and the way I didn't manage to really control the lighting the way I wanted. But
I think the choice of the focus, being totally out of focus, letting him come into focus, and then you don't know where he is, and then you boom down, and now you see him with others. Now, was that on a dolly you boomed down, or was that?
So this was something we shot in Tunisia. This one, and it was on a mini jib. This one down. Yeah.
But you had enough room in there to do it. Oh, so that scene was in Tunisia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was that? Was that wasn't in a prison, was it?
It was not a prison. We found those old studios in Tunisia in the middle of nowhere where you can, like, there was an Italian village, and then you had like army tanks that are parked from old movies that they used to shoot there, and it's all deserted, but you would walk in those spaces and we could just use whatever we want.
Yeah, wonderful.
So you have those spaces that are just empty, and we went into some of those. And that's where we found this long corridor and the prison cell.
And then, like the opening scene where he's asleep, where did you do that? Where you get the shaft? That looked like real light. Where was that shaft of light from?
No, this was at Parkan.
Oh, Part, yeah, 40, yeah, 43. And then, but then where was that location? You painted the walls dark? Where did you get the?
Yeah, this was in Tunisia. Also, we just built it, and it wasn't. It was all with like in this area where we built kind of little studios in Tunisia where we could just do different sets, and this was one of them.
And then, but there was top light. It looked like there was a real. Yeah. Did you put the top light, or was that daylight coming in?
No, I put an LED from. I just wanted to give his skin some more.
Right.
Some more structure, or like yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wonder. Yeah, he's lovely. Where does he live?
So he's a lawyer, and he has never. He's not an actor.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And he lives in Paris, and that's where he met Kauthar, the director.
Now, does he like being an actor? That's the problem when they act. They don't want to give it up.
Yeah, good question. I think he's pretty happy with that. He was the most satisfied person I've ever seen. Just happy to be, to go with the flow and just be where he is. He just.
You know this artist, his name is Santiago Sierra, because he uses homeless people and prostitutes. I'm sure she must have known this artist to use that character. Did she know him, or you don't know if she knew him?
Maybe she didn't mention him.
He's somebody, he's Spanish, and he did an exhibit with prostitutes where he paid the prostitutes what they would get paid for their work. And he asked them if he could just put on their back, tattoo a line. So the line went from one back to the next back of the next woman, next back. And I saw that exhibit in Vienna. And that was pretty incredible. And he's worked with homeless people where they, wealthy people come to a gallery and he just sees the people standing against the wall. So they never see their faces. He doesn't even let himself be seen in his interviews. He's really interesting artist.
Right.
All right. Well, so you're working on a film now?
I'm prepared. I'm working on a Netflix series, a period film about the Empress Elizabeth.
Where are you going to shoot that?
Around Nuremberg, Ansbach. It's so 2 hours north of Munich, where the castles are.
Wow.
Yeah, something
different. The Schloss.
Yeah.
Wow. And then where do you pick your crew up from? Munich or Berlin?
Mostly Berlin and Hamburg.
Oh, great. Well, I should let you go, and hopefully we get to talk in person next time.
Yeah, it was thank you so much.
Wiederschauen, as they say in Austria. Wiederschauen. Let's see each other soon, all right? Inshallah. All right.
Bye.